This modern calisthenics movement is one of the most cope things that I've seen in a very long time. You're going to see a whole bunch of videos that are like, oh, how to get the Baki Hanma physique in 90 days with only bodyweight movements. That's not going to happen, big dog. You're trying to look like a literal IFBB pro while being 115 pounds and doing push-ups in your mom's basement. That does not make any sense. Pull-ups are cool. They'll get you far, they'll get you wide. But like beyond that, if you don't have start doing literal weight training where you're putting weight onto your body and basically just doing weightlifting at that point, I understand why there's this whole subgroup of basically calisthenic elitists that think they're being functional because they can just move their body around a whole bunch while also subsequently being significantly lighter than the average person. That's not impressive whatsoever. Calisthenics are still cool. I mean, you can get a really good beginner gains. You can get a good template to build on with actual weight training if you want to look like freaking Baki Hanma or something, like the videos you guys are all clicking on for some reason. You can get a base, you can get your beginner gains, and if you want to go ahead and buy weights, which you're kind of defeating the purpose of being an elitist at this point because you're literally using weights, and put it on your back, maybe you can push that and start doing more joint damage than you need to. But beyond that, unless if you're fat, you're not going to really get that good of a workout out of body weight movements. That's why weights exist. Literally all of the biggest calisthenics guys still use weight training. If it's not weight training explicitly, it's still weight training principles, it's always weight training. If you're gonna harness yourself up and put 45s on yourself, you're doing weight training, bro. But if we just say that that's not considered weight training, then we can just go ahead and say, I don't know, what about the progressive overload, where it's you're literally just doing basic bodybuilding principles. You're disadvantaging the muscle. You go from a wide freaking push-up to a freaking diamond grip push-up. Bro, this is literally just turning into bodybuilding, which calisthenics, there's literally no problem with it. I don't have a problem with calisthenics. The problem is whenever you're elitist towards anything, working out is not a religion. There are people that will be powerlifters and be fat as hell, look like chuds, and then they'll sit there and cope their asses off and be like, hey, but I'm strong and nothing in life matters, I'm strong. But then they're still jealous that they don't have abs and shit. They're like, it's all genetics. Or the bodybuilders are weak as fuck, and then they're like, hey, at least I'm aesthetic. Girls love me. Bro, no, dude. You need a certain level of strength, let's be honest. Both sides are just pissed that they don't have both. And that's why you should always just practice both. If you want to have both, the general principles are, I mean, if you want to get into MMA or something, you need to put calisthenics into your routine. You don't have to, but it wouldn't be the worst thing to add in just for the muscular endurance part of it. But for the everyday person that's trying to look like Baki Hanma, okay, I'm gonna give you guys a quick little plan. All right, number one, keep a compound movement. You still need strength. The powerlifting movements are still good at building everyday strength and stuff. Before I started powerlifting, I'm not picking up 2 plates like this and just moving it around like it's nothing. All right, that has built real world strength. There is a lot of stuff in my everyday life that I can't, rolling hay bales. All right, I live on a farm. There's big old hay bales. All right, those used to be a pain in the ass, but after getting years into lifting, bro, I can roll them suckers like nothing, bro. They ain't even that hard no more. But you need that kind of that base. You need your squat, you need your deadlift, and you need your bench. Unless if you're just pure aesthetics, in which case you're kind of gay. I mean, do you want to just be a twink? I'm playing. I'm kind of rage baiting on that one. Or you could just be a pure powerlifter and be an absolute chud. Which honestly, I feel that's better than. Well, I'm a little bit biased, but I feel that's almost better than aesthetics, because then at least you're not genuine victim weight and you have very little muscle mass and you're just lean out of your tree, which is, being lean is definitely harder than just being fat and strong. So I mean, there's definitely, let's not get into who's right or wrong. All right, keep the actual compound movement in there and keep progressing it and keep going hard at it. Then whenever you move on to actual aesthetics type movements, add in stuff that's going to actually disadvantage the muscle, kind of how you would have to do as a calisthenics athlete trying to genuinely put on muscle. You're going to end up having to disadvantage the muscle, because it's at some point, if you're 130, 140, hell, 150, 60, when I was 180 something, I can definitely do over 80 push-ups with actual strict form. All right, it doesn't really even, at a certain point, it doesn't even matter how much you weigh. You're still just going to be cooked after a while, where it's just joint damage more than anything. You have to start disadvantaging the muscle. So once you have your compound movement, you need to actually disadvantage the muscle in the bodybuilding movements. There is no point in ego lifting on a lat pull down. Now, if you're doing frank pull downs and you are barely pulling it down already, you're only going up to your nose, and then you move your nose up and meet yourself in the middle. Listen, bro, it's not going to get you a big back. It's gonna get you a fat back, just like Frank. I gotta stop flaming this guy, dude. He's like complete blocked me, bro. Like I gotta chill. I gotta chill. I gotta like stop mogging the shit out of this guy. But it's really simple, honestly. Like once you have the compound, once you disadvantage the muscles, and you're doing actual strict, somewhat at least somewhat strict form on these exercises, to the point where it's like, honestly, like if you tweak your shit out doing like a bicep curl or something, you're just dumb. Like I can't lie. Like unless you're on steroids and your muscles get stronger than your tendons, like you're dumb as hell. Like, how are you going to be natural and your gains are slow and you're still going to end up managing to like tear a bicep? That's just stupid, bro. Like, you know how long it takes to actually make meaningful progress? You know how much time your freaking tendons have to catch up? Yeah. And like, I mean, maybe some people just have weak tendons by like genetics, but still, like, I don't see people like really controlling it, like being smart with what they're doing and completely tearing some shit off the bone, because that's just kind of dumb. Recent tidbit. Everyone needs to start adding cardio into their routine. All right, my sleep has been better, my HRV has been going up, and honestly, sleep has been more important than anything else. So previously, the thing I didn't have dialed in was like my nutrition and stuff, and it's still iffy. I mean, no one's gonna have it 100%, but I do have the general like calories and stuff right. You know, I can, if I wanted to bulk, I know how to bulk right, and I can actually like get fat as shit if I wanted to. Before, I couldn't get fat as shit if I wanted to. Now I can. Uh, and I can also get skinny too, because it's really not that hard. It's just a system, just, I call it ghrelin modulation. That is just scientific buzzwords. Ghrelin is just a hunger hormone that your body produces to basically tell yourself that you're starving. All right. Now, what I kind of figured out through my own experimentation is that it's just heavily dependent on like your habits, right? If you eat at a certain day, like a certain time every day, your body's going to produce ghrelin whether you're hungry or not. Whereas like if you stop eating at that time every day, you're going to be hungry for a while, sure, but at a certain point, your body's going to be like, oh, you ain't even going to eat anyways, and then it just stops like producing ghrelin at those times. At least for me. Now that's definitely a good skinny guy tactic, because I mean, if your ghrelin's already kind of weak, then it's like, you know, it's easier probably to regulate rather than someone that might have thyroid problems and all this stuff. But chances are, if you're like 99% of people and you don't have those problems, you're just retarded. So, but it also goes on the flip side. Like if you're trying to bulk, bro, you need to make sure that you get those meals in every single time at those like exact same rough times, you know? And I mean, if you have to make it a little bit dirty, I don't want to make this too generic, but it's like, oh, you obviously have to get your food in. But like, even if it's like you can't even eat that much, like still make it something. That way your body knows that we still eat at this time, and your ghrelin's going to keep getting pulsated out throughout the day. And that's how I kind of like broke the freaking crazy plateau I have on weight, where it's like I'd just be stuck at the same body weight for like a very, very long time, which is cool. I'm kind of lean bulking, I'm kind of recomping, I'm kind of losing fat, kind of putting on muscle. But you know, sometimes you just want to like put on a shit ton of strength, and you want to actually like kind of take control of your fitness rather than kind of just letting it, you know, balls in the wind and just let whatever the hell happens happens. Completely lost the plot here, but add calisthenics in if you're into muscular endurance. Add cardio in 100 freaking percent. Like it, a lot of people say, oh, it's not good for bro. If I'm talking, when I say cardio, I mean like zone 2. Zone 2, there's like different zones of cardio. If you don't know, there's like zone 1, which is basically just existing. Zone 2 is like, it's not, it goes based off of a percentage of your heart rate. For me, zone 2 cardio is between 120 and like 135 BPM. It's like that. Well, if you just stay in that rate, you're gonna be burning a shit ton of fat, and you're gonna also be like making your heart a lot stronger. I've noticed since I implemented like between 10 and 30 minutes, kind of depends on the day, between 10 and 30 minutes of cardio, I gas out a lot less on squats. Like squats have gotten a lot easier to go to failure on, and you know, that can be a real difference maker if you're going to continue putting on strength in your lifts. Is if your body can actually flush out lactic acid quick enough, and your heart's like strong enough to actually, you know, keep your heart rate not going absolutely bonkers while you're trying to focus on like going to failure. But yeah, if you are somebody in your, you know, mom's house or whatever, you know, or like you're just some random kid and you're looking at a bunch of calisthenics videos, it's better than doing nothing. But just don't forget, like, the gym is better. All right, for what your goals typically are. If you're clicking on a how to turn into Baki Hanma in 90 days video, for your goals, it's going to be better to just bite the bullet and go to the gym. There are, I'll tell you personally, there are tons of weak people. You're not going to like be alone. And, there's tons of fat people. There's tons of skinny people. The only thing that separates all of these people are the ones that actually go in there, go to failure, and get bigger throughout their actual journey. And that's what actually matters at the end, is if you are genuinely progressing. That's what people are going to look at you and be like, oh yeah, this chud's been in here for 2 months and he looks the exact same. That's the only time I think people would actually like look down on you, is like if you are genuinely remaining the same. And even then, most people are not even going to look down on you because they do the same shit themselves. They look like garbage, like, and they just stay looking like garbage because they just don't understand that unless if you take things to the appropriate intensity and you have the appropriate volume throughout the week, and you still need to sleep at least like 8 hours, maybe. Like you can go a little bit lower, but I wouldn't go too much lower than like 8 hours. At that point, you're going to be sacrificing a lot of deep and REM sleep, and your freaking growth hormone, testosterone production is not going to be good. Your recovery is not going to be as good. And, also nutrition, which could be arguably more important than sleep, but, sleep does typically top literally everything, especially whenever it comes down to just like pure raw duration of sleep. But yeah, no, if you are scared of getting into the gym, I can tell you personally, like, don't be. It's nowhere near as scary as you think it is. But if you guys have any questions, comments, or anything, leave that down in the description. I'm going to respond to everything, obviously, because I get very few comments on this channel, and I would love to actually just have a discussion with you guys down there, whether it's hate, whether it's good or anything. I mean, you can go ahead and just go down and be like, I think calisthenics are the best, and whenever I look like Ronnie Coleman in 90 days, I'm gonna come and beat your ass. Well, anyways, guys, I'll see you later.